One of the features that make it such a large country is its vast land area. But what some countries lack in size, they make up for in intense beauty. It might surprise you how many of the following countries you've never heard about. I'll bet you can't name most of them. Here are the top 10 smallest countries in the world. Number 10. Niue. If you're a nature lover and a huge fan of anything rustic and laid back, Niue is going to feel like paradise. This 56 square kilometer Pacific island sits in the middle of Samoa, Tonga, and the Cook Islands, and has a lot to offer to the adventurous soul. For starters, you can ride a motorcycle to marble at the various natural attractions in Niue. From June to September, you can watch humpback whales as they nurse their calves just near the atoll. There are also plenty of fabulous diving spots that could transport you to another world. After all the sightseeing, you could relax on a hammock and browse the internet through your smartphone. Because Niue is the world's first free Wi-Fi nation, with such a great environment, who would want to leave? Apparently, most Niueans wouldn't have. Its population has been consistently declining in hopes of finding greener pastures. One of the popular destinations is New Zealand, especially since they hold a New Zealand passport. Authorities are hoping a boosted tourism would keep them from leaving, while preserving the Niuean language and culture. Number 9. San Marino. San Marino is one of the most popular cities within Italy. Are you aware, though, that it isn't actually part of that country? With a land area of 61 kilometers squared, it's an enchanting city-state and considered one of the smallest countries ever. San Marino is believed to be the world's oldest surviving republic, being founded way back in 301 AD. Even its size does not stop it from becoming a prominent nation, which is further recognized by many after it joined the United Nations in 1992. As far as the economy goes, it gets the majority of its wealth for tourism, drawing in over 3 million visitors annually. Speaking of tourism, what can you see here? The whole territory itself is the attraction, so much that it had been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. From the narrow streets, rustic squares, and magnificent churches, it brings you back in time. But the highlight of it all is climbing the first tower, which gives you a breathtaking panoramic view of the Adriatic Sea and Apennines Mountains. Number 8. Principality of Hutt River. Australia is a huge country. But did you know that within this colossal landlocked territory lies a micronation that fights back to maintain self-proclaimed sovereignty? I'm referring to the Principality of Hutt River, which is only 75 kilometers squared big. Found somewhere in the region of Western Australia, it was created around the 1970s by 5 families headed by Leonard Castley. He declared himself as His Royal Highness Prince Leonard of Hutt, using the British Treason Act of 1495 as a ticket. They did this as a result of opposition to the Australian government, after a scuffle over wheat quotas ensued. Back then, Australia and the Principality had a heated disagreement, but have since made peace. Did it endure? Not exactly. Recently, the micronation was slammed by the Australian Tax Office, with income taxes amounting to more than $3 million. They lost even after an appeal, so they plan to move the case to the High Court. With this, the gloves are off once again. Number 7. Tuvalu. Another small country in the Pacific is Tuvalu, which was formerly known as the Ellis Islands. It's composed of 9 small coral islands making up 26 kilometers square of its total land area. After it gained independence in 1978, it strived to become a self-sufficient nation. Most grown plants are limited to coconut palms, breadfruit trees, pandanus, taro, and bananas due to its soil's porous nature. Other sources of food include pigs, chickens, and seafood, to name a few. Other than that, it heavily relies on trade partnerships with other places like Australia, New Zealand, and Hawaii. As far as scenery, it has a lot to offer. Its reefs and gorgeous lagoons make it a great place to snorkel and spot various marine life. The native culture is very much alive in Tuvalu, as is seen in people who display traditional dances, as well as locals who showcase basket weaving and wood carving. If that appeals to you, you might want to visit soon, as it may be in danger of disappearing due to rising sea levels. Number 6. Noru. Somewhere northwest of Tuvalu, you could find the country of Noru. Similar to the former, this 21 kilometer square territory is on the top of a raised coral island. There are a lot of things that Tuvalu and Noru have in common. For example, both have porous lands, making the practice of agriculture very limited. But if there's something that sets Noru apart, It's the fact that it's a favorite stopover for migratory birds. With this bird, droppings are widespread, bringing the country its main source of income, phosphate. Mining this substance has made Noru rich since 197. Unfortunately, that wealthy streak has come to a screeching halt. Those long years of mining phosphate has made over 70% of the land devastated and uninhabitable. Forestry and Nauru was stripped away, and, in its place, you could find piles of trash that the country could not afford to remove. Since the demand for the mineral ended, it resulted in an unemployment rate of 90%. Now that's a riches to rags story. Number 5. Principality of Seborga. Let's fly back to Italy, where another micronation is. It's known as the Principality of Seborga. With a land area of just around 14 kilometers squared, this self-proclaimed principality is a small town somewhere in Italy's northwest region, near the French border. It was sometime in 1963 that the locals within the area were convinced that they were a separate territory from Italy and declared Giorgio Carbone as the head of state. He was then crowned as Giorgio I, the first Prince of Seborga. The weird thing, however, is that it still pays taxes to Italy and votes in local and national Italian elections. Perplexing, right? With a very confusing history. Do you think people would want to rule this land? Apparently, yes. Currently, the ruler, Marcello Meneghetto, who holds the title of His Tremendous Marcello I. The first is challenged by Nicholas Mutt, who calls himself His Serene Highness Nicholas I. Mutt has laid out a 5-year plan, claiming that he could do a better job than the current monarch. The battle is so intense that opposing websites were even created. Number 4. Monaco. Don't you just hate paying taxes sometimes? If so, you're going to love Monaco. The 2-kilometer square micronation is such a progressive country that it doesn't charge income tax. That's part of the reason property here would cost you over $45,000 per square meter. It's an illustrious place that hosts towering hotels and luxurious establishments, listing the Casino de Monte Carlo as one of the world-famous attractions that attract the rich and influential. Monaco is also known for hosting the annual Formula One Grand Prix since it started in May 1929. Aside from visiting the legendary casino, there's a lot that could be done in Monaco. Marine life lovers would be astounded by the renowned Musée Oceanographique de Monaco, which showcases over 450 Mediterranean and tropical species. The El Rocha provides a whimsical glimpse into its past as it retains original features of the old town, while giving a panoramic view of the sea. You'll also get to see the magnificent Palais Princier de Monaco within Les Rochers. It's truly a life of opulence when you get here. Number 3. Vatican City. Roman Catholicism is one of the biggest religious practices globally today. The seat of its influence is found on one of the smallest city-states in the world. This diminutive territory, which has a 4-kilometer square land area, is right in the middle of Rome. Marking its borders are medieval Renaissance walls that show regal grandeur. There are 6 entries, but only 3 that could be accessed by the public. They're the Piazza San Pietro, the Arco del Campane, and the entry point to the Vatican museums and galleries. It holds 2 famous buildings, namely the Papal Residence Vatican Palace and the astounding St. Peter's Basilica. There are pretty interesting facts about the Vatican City. For starters, the Swiss Guard, not the Vatican residence, is charged with the protection of the Pope, who functions as both the head of the Catholic faith and the city-state. There's also an escape route underneath the city meant for the Pope's security. And what's curious is that it owns a high-powered telescope in Arizona. What does it need that for? Who knows? Number 2. Republic of Molossia. The Vatican may popularly have been known as the smallest country in the world, but guess what? There are still others that are tinier. Let me introduce you to the Republic of Molossia. It's a micronation somewhere in Nevada with a land area of just 18 kilometers squared. With its self-declared sovereignty, it doesn't pay any taxes to the US government and even has its own currency, printed on no less than poker chips. This small territory is ruled by the President, His Excellency, Kevin Baugh, and inhabits the area along with 21 citizens and 6 canines. With such a small population in an equally small region, Baugh has all the liberty to enact whatever law he wants. For funny reasons, spinach, tobacco, and catfish are not allowed inside Molossia. Cookie dough is declared as its national food. There are 25 holidays in a year, and one of them is in honor of the former first dog. It all sounds crazy, but it's true. Number 1. Principality of Sea Land. We're down to the smallest country in the world, and this is a peculiar one. You see, it doesn't sit on land, but rather on a concrete and steel construction located in the North Sea. I'm talking about no other than the Principality of Sealand, a Micron nation on the Fort Ross Tower, which lies 6 miles off the coast of Suffolk, England. This said territory is ruled by Paddy Roy Bates, who declares himself as His Royal Highness, Prince Roy of Sealand. He's joined by his family members and a few of his associates, all of which try to reside on this 0.004 kilometer squared structure. The Principality of Sealand is unique and peculiar in a lot of ways. It has a national anthem and a motto that says E Mare Libertas, which means from the sea, freedom. It has a constitution composed of a preamble and 7 articles to be exact. And the odd fact is that you could get an official noble title in exchange for a donation. Who knew becoming a lord or lady was this easy? Which country surprised you the most? Are you planning to visit one of them anytime soon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.